For over 1,000 years, Constantinople had stood as the jewel of empires. Its walls, towers, and fortifications had resisted Goths, Persians, Arabs, Crusaders, and countless invaders. Yet in 1453, a young Ottoman Sultan, Mehmed II, prepared to test the city as no one had before. The Byzantines, confident in centuries of defensive experience, believed their walls and heritage would protect them. Sultan Mehmed II, only 21, commanded with intellect, discipline, and a vision that extended far beyond the battlefield. He sought not mere conquest, but strategic mastery, governance, and the preservation of human life wherever possible. Both sides underestimated aspects of the other. The Byzantines did not fully appreciate the Ottomans' logistical and artillery innovations. The Ottomans faced centuries of defensive ingenuity, a city elevated strategically, and defenders determined to defend their home. This siege was not simply a test of strength. It was a clash of strategy, endurance, intellect, and human will. The outcome would resonate across Europe, Asia, and the Mediterranean for centuries. By 1453, Constantinople was both a city of glory and a city under strain. Once the capital of the Byzantine Empire, it had suffered population decline, economic stagnation, and political fragility. Its citizens numbered roughly 50,000 to 70,000, a blend of Greeks, Latins, Armenians, Jews, and merchants from across the Mediterranean. The city's fortifications were unmatched. The Theodosian walls, spanning more than 5 kilometers with multiple layers, were a marvel of military engineering. The walls consisted of a double stone barrier, a moat, and hundreds of defensive towers spaced at intervals for archers and artillery. The chain across the Golden Horn prevented naval access, a symbol of Byzantine ingenuity. Despite the strength of these fortifications, manpower was limited. Only a few thousand trained defenders could man the walls effectively. Civilian volunteers, mercenaries, and religious orders supplemented the defense. Yet every human resource was precious. Inside the city, political tensions simmered. Noble factions debated whether to seek Western aid or attempt negotiations with men. Some desired resistance to the last breath, while others feared complete annihilation. Emperor Constantine XI, Palaeologos, faced the impossible. Defending a city with dwindling resources against a modernizing, well-organized army. His leadership required balancing courage, diplomacy, and strategy. Sultan Mehmed, later called the Conqueror, had been meticulously prepared for leadership. Educated in history, philosophy, law, and military strategy, he was a scholar and strategist. His leadership combined intellect with pragmatism. He sought efficiency, discipline, and strategic foresight. Mehmed's army represented a revolution in organized military capability. Janissaries, trained from youth, disciplined and loyal, capable of precise battlefield maneuvers. Sipahi cavalry, adaptable, highly mobile, used for flanking and rapid assaults. Artillery engineers, responsible for massive cannons, including the renowned Basilica cannon. Naval forces, crucial for blockades and transporting troops along the Bosphorus and Golden Horn. Logistics and supply chains, ensuring continuous provision of food, ammunition, and materials for months of siege. Mehmed's leadership was principled. He adhered to the ethical codes of governance, seeking to limit unnecessary civilian casualties while pursuing strategic objectives. He understood that victory required more than brute force. It required patience, intelligence, and ingenuity. Byzantine diplomats had long sought Western support. Venice, Genoa, and the papacy were sympathetic, but constrained by their own politics and wars. Venice provided some ships and military advisors. Genoa sent volunteers and supplies. Western Europe, divided and distracted, could offer only limited assistance. These diplomatic efforts, though significant, were insufficient to counterbalance the strategic and military advantage of the Ottomans. The Byzantines hoped for a miracle. The Ottomans, aware of potential Western interference, accelerated preparations to avoid prolonged intervention. This interplay of diplomacy, timing, and military planning added another layer of complexity to the siege. Mehmed spent months preparing. Artillery engineers designed and cast massive cannons capable of breaching stone walls. Ships were readied for transport and blockades. Troops were trained in siege tactics, night operations, and combined arms maneuvers. Detailed reconnaissance identified weaknesses in the Theodosian walls and other fortifications. Inside Constantinople, the Byzantines repaired damaged walls, reinforced gates, and stocked food and water. Archers, crossbowmen, and cannons were positioned strategically. Civilians assisted with repairs, transported materials, and tended to the wounded. Every effort reflected human ingenuity and determination. April 6, 1453, marked the opening of the bombardment. Ottoman cannons, including the massive basilica cannon, thundered against stone and mortar. The walls shook, dust and debris filled the air, darkening the battlefield. Engineers constantly repaired breaches. Archers and crossbowmen targeted exposed enemy positions. Civilians worked tirelessly to support defenders. Both attackers and defenders displayed ingenuity under immense pressure. Mehmed personally oversaw artillery placement, rotating units to maintain effectiveness. The chain across the Golden Horn blocked naval access. Mehmed devised an ingenious solution, transporting ships over greased logs across Galata's hills. Under the cover of night, this maneuver allowed the Ottoman fleet to bypass the barrier and threaten previously secure sections of the city. Byzantine defenders attempted to counter with small ships and fire ships. Despite their efforts, Ottoman planning, coordination, and engineering skill prevailed. The city now faced threats from both land and sea. Night operations were crucial. Ottoman scouts measured walls, observed troop movements, and identified vulnerabilities. Defenders conducted counter-reconnaissance, monitoring activity and preparing for assaults. Civilians and soldiers alike endured psychological pressure, fatigue, and fear. Information and intelligence became strategic weapons, shaping every decision. Inside Constantinople, families hid in basements and churches. Women ferried supplies to walls, tended the wounded, and bolstered morale. Children witnessed the siege, learning courage and endurance. On the battlefield, Janissaries advanced with discipline. Engineers repaired walls, maintained artillery, and built ramps and ladders. Civilians assisted where possible, contributing to the city's defense. Every human effort mattered. By late May, walls were weakened from sustained bombardment. Exhaustion and shortages affected defenders. May 29, 1453, marked the final assault. Ottoman forces advanced in coordinated formations, exploiting breaches. Defenders fought valiantly, led by Emperor Constantine XI at the front lines. Despite resistance, the combination of artillery, engineering, and tactical planning allowed Ottomans to breach the walls. The city fell. Looting was restrained under Mehmed's orders. Infrastructure was preserved wherever possible. The city became the Ottoman capital, later called Istanbul. The fall of Constantinople ended the Byzantine Empire. It marked the rise of the Ottoman Empire as a major world power. Trade, culture, and scholarship continued under Ottoman governance. Mehmed implemented policies to integrate the population, preserve infrastructure, and maintain stability. The siege illustrated that warfare is complex, involving logistics, strategy, psychology, and human endurance. Both defenders and attackers demonstrated courage, ingenuity, and resilience. Leadership requires strategy, discipline, and moral clarity. Fortifications alone cannot ensure victory. Logistics, innovation, and human perseverance shape outcomes. Warfare tests societies as much as armies. The Siege of Constantinople was not a story of cruelty or vengeance. It was a story of human ingenuity, strategic vision, and resilience. History rewards understanding, not judgment. In 1453, the world witnessed the convergence of intelligence, endurance, and principled leadership, forever altering the course of empires.